What's poppin', y'all? This has got to be one of the weirdest album promos I've ever seen, and I don't even know if it's a real album promo. And this all started off with, I believe it was Academics that leaked this, and this was a call with Rich the Kid that Summer Walker had. Keep in mind, Rich the Kid's had a fiance, been married. I don't know what the situation is, but he's had kids with this chick for many, many years that he has claimed publicly, and this is, well, I don't know if it's not a good look, but I'm going to play you guys a clip right now.
I'm sending you this right now because I'm 50, and they say when you're 50, your true self and your true feelings come out. Because, I don't know, I don't want to wait till tomorrow and I don't say it. I miss you. And I want to see you, and I want to hang out, and I'm honestly really glad. I know it probably sounds up, but I'm really glad everything worked out how it worked out, because I want you to be with your family. Like, when we were in Italy and I kept saying that to you, I was like, why aren't you with your baby mom? Like, I'm not going to bother y'all, I promise. Because y'all was never going to stop fucking with each other anyway. That's why I just, like, kind of just our shit up, because she was acting crazy. She's always acting crazy. She be fighting people and everything, calling the flower shop, looking for the address. Like, I don't have time for that. I can't have a serious relationship with someone when they baby mama act like that. So I'm so glad that y'all are back together. I want y'all to be together forever, and I just want to with you. You know, when you have time, we always have a good time. You treat me so good, I treat you so good, and I'm not gonna bother y'all. Like, you can buy me a new phone, just know the number and save it under Pizza Hut for all I care. I'm not gonna post nothing. So that's all I wanted to say. And I know that you're not gonna be weird or like out us or anything like that.
Now, off rip, I just love the setting of all of this. Like, you can hear she's probably whipping her G-Wagon around. Like, you guys remember that popular LVRN, which is the company that she's signed to. They had given her a G-Wagon, and it became a whole thing because they're like, oh, they're giving her a G-Wagon with the money that she's paying for, whatever the case may be. But I imagine her driving that G-Wagon, you guys can hear the rain falling on the windshield, and you can hear the windshield wipers. I don't know, I just pay attention to this type of detail. So, you know, she's probably driving around, it's probably a gloomy day, and she's just thinking about Rich the Kid. And then she reaches out to him and she's sending him this message. She's like, oh, I'm so glad it worked out with your family. So at this point, I was thinking like, yo, what the hell is going on here? Is she like happy that they're not together anymore, but she wants to see him? So clearly, what's the situation? It doesn't seem to be that clear, actually. Now, this is crazy. She's even telling Rich the Kid. So she's like taking the role of a side chick, but it almost seemed like she wanted to be in a relationship with him in the first place. But she said, man, your baby mom is so crazy. I'm glad you guys worked it out. I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody that is, you know, that their baby mom is tripping all the time. So you would think, okay, then she wouldn't mess with them at all. But she's like, no, I'm so glad now that we can just spend time with each other. And, you know, you can just save me on your phone as Pizza Hut, which is like the most least. This is the thing that never works, like Pizza Hut. When is Pizza Hut sending you a text? Like, you should save it as auntie with like a heart and like a grandma type of, what do you call it? That emoji. Or somebody that's actually going to send you a text. not some like Pizza Hut, Domino's. When are they ever sending you a text unless it's a promotion and she's sending you 25% off this weekend and that's your guys' code for you're linking up at, I don't know, like 25th Street and Park Avenue or something like that. I don't even, actually, is there a 25th Street and Park? Oh, I just made up a random intersection. So here we're getting a look into Summer Walker, and she seems to really like Rich the Kid, or spending time with Rich the Kid. And this, listen, super pause on this, all right? I need to meet Rich the Kid. Completely out of, this makes sense, trust me. Because, and this is not from Summer Walker, right? So like Summer Walker messes with Rich the Kid for a certain reason. She's like, oh yeah, you treat me well. I'm not trying to meet Rich the Kid in that capacity. The reason why I say that is because whenever I've seen Rich the Kid, like for example, you guys remember when Rich the Kid pulled up to the interview with Academics when he had Off the Record, and Rich the Kid was just mumbling, he was incoherent, you couldn't understand anything, and then he just walked off. And you're like, well, what the hell was that? That was disrespectful. He was probably late as well. So there was that. But Rich the Kid has maintained great relationships with so many people. Like, for instance, when we're always thinking, yeah, how the hell was he still cool with the Migos when he was like the fourth Migo for a long time with like Skippa da Flippa? He was on the same level as a Skippa da Flippa, Hood Rich, Pablo Juan for a period of time. You could say they were on the same level. You could potentially even say Rich the Kid was slightly below them. We're talking 2015 here. This is before 2016, or maybe even 2014 era. But regardless, this guy just eclipses them, and he's still cool with those guys. He was the one on FaceTime with Frank Ocean, and we're like, what the hell? He's cool with Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's even done a tape with him. Youngboy messes with him heavy. So all of these people across multiple different areas of rap, even Summer Walker, right? Like, there's got to be something cool and chill about Rich the Kid that so many people mess with him. And that's usually uncommon in rappers because unless you're hot and popping as a rapper, a lot of them are boring. So Rich the Kid hasn't been hot or popping for a very long time. And for all of these people to mess with him, knowing that they're not going to get any commercial benefit, must mean that he's a cool guy. But we've also not seen him being a cool guy, and not cool as in like people want to be like him, but like cool, chill, people want to be around him. We haven't seen that exhibited publicly via interviews or whatever else. So yeah, it's just such a mystery. But after this leaks, Summer Walker goes on IG Live. Keep in mind, Summer Walker had an album release. That her album released like last week, which did a lot, or it's doing like 60 something K, which is a lot. Barely any physicals were being sold. And I'm going to cover a couple of different things that she came on with here, because what is she going to do? Is she going to defend herself? Is she going to say like, that wasn't me, that was AI. This is an AI. Well, I'm going to play you guys a couple of clips from there right now.
Let me move these big flowers that just got me out the way, excuse me. Let me sit them right here.
So off rip, she's dissing Tory Brixx, which is the baby mama of Rich the Kid. And she's like, oh, let me move these flowers that Rich the Kid got me. That's who she's talking about before I get on this live. So she's starting off as the gals would say, as the girls would say, messy.
I have no shame. I take nothing back, babe. I told everybody on my type I date for money now. Your man, he spends money. He spends money. Y'all are not married. I don't with married man. Whenever I even thought there was a ring, I made sure there was no ring. There was no ring. Tory Brixx. We have seen videos of you fighting women, bloody, beating them bloody. We have seen videos of Rich on Ring cameras, like he got someone pregnant. Time after time after time after time after time. I don't even have enough fingers for how many that he cheats on you with on a daily basis. And you have no self-respect whatsoever. And instead of taking that shit up with your man, you come at everybody else but the source of the problem. I'm not your issue, babe. I've actually been advocating for you for a long time. Like even in the voice memo, you heard me say I've been advocating for you for a long time. Like I always tell him, I'll be like, y'all so perfect together. Why you just want to be with her? I say it all the time. Like I talk big of you. I talk good of you all the time. I'll be like, you don't want to be with the mother of your children. She's this, she's that. She's helped you down. I talk good about you all the time. Why are you always messing with me? And that's what I don't like. Like, I feel like it's because I'm famous and your career's not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. You just sit up in the house bored, going through his phone all day, losing your mind. Going through his phone, calling every that's in his phone, trying to fight everybody up in his phone. But I feel like you only try to do it your biggest with me. Why? Because I'm famous? Are you trying to get something? You finna drop a link? I hope you finna drop a link. You know I've been that man for years. Everybody been him for years. He be everybody. So what's the problem? Like, what? Like, you're never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave. It comes to a point where it has to be like a certain level of disrespect that you have got to come to. I'd be like, all right, this is it. This can do anything to you. So if you're not gonna leave and he's gonna keep cracking that wallet wide open, then can't we all just get along? Anyway, I don't want this man. I don't care about this man. I don't like this man. And you should be so glad that I don't, babe. Because if you did, you would really have a real problem. Now I don't care anymore. I've been dragging it on for years, dealing with him because, sometimes sometimes I don't need it. Clearly, obviously, I live in a mansion, unlike you. But I just wake up sometimes, I'll be like, I want to go here. I want to do this. I want this. Send me some money for this. Send me some money for that. And so, like a little boy toy who's just like nice. He's just sometimes like he has filled up my whole entire house with flowers before, like multiple times. Took me to Italy, took me to my friends. And, just like little nice stuff. Something one time he gave me like $25K for my mortgage. And I could have kept getting it. But right, lucky for you, right after I get right up to that cusp where he will fully take care of me, I don't want to go that far. I just want to be the side. That's what I was saying. Like, I just want to be the side and I just want you to chill. I don't like him enough to lay up next to him.
This is crazy. Is this the appeal of a Summer Walker? Like, because I know a lot of chicks that are fans of Summer Walker, and don't get me wrong, Summer Walker's music is fire. I'm turning up Summer Walker's music. I don't think I've listened to her in a couple of years. Like, the last album that I really listened to by Summer Walker was most likely in 2022 or 2021. It was Over It. I listened to that one, and Still Over It. Yeah, I didn't listen to Last Day of Summer. I think, she just dropped Finally Over It. That's the one that recently dropped. But she's talking about, I ain't got no shame. That is something that you don't hear. Like, you see the most shameless never saying that. They still think they've got a semblance of shame or, something that makes them not special, but they're like, I'm not doing anything bad. And she doesn't feel like she's doing anything bad, but she's like, I'm gonna air out everything. I don't get any problem with that. And she is speaking facts though. Like, Tory Brixx comes off as a hater because in the voice memo that got leaked, that Summer Walker didn't get leaked, she's not talking about leave your baby mama. She's not talking about like, oh, I hate that chick. None of that. She's talking about, I'm so glad you guys worked it out because now I don't have to deal with drama when I'm playing my role with Rich the Kid, which is apparently to get spent on. And this is really bizarre to me because what can Rich the Kid give Summer Walker that she cannot get herself? And is this like the whole like gifts are my love language or something like that? Because it's not the material or the things that Rich the Kid is getting her, right? It can't be that because he cannot afford the things that she can get for herself. Like, she can get herself a gigantic crib. She can get herself crazy whips. She can get herself all of the enhancements and augmentations that she's had done. And she just flexed earlier on. She's like, oh, let me get these flowers out of the way of Rich the Kid that he got her. And that was to taunt Tory Brixx. So the way that I'm looking at it is, Summer Walker probably just likes the fact that he's spending on her. It's not what he's spending on. It's not him getting, because a lot of these other chicks, like for example, let's say a Tory Brixx. If a Tory Brixx gets left on the side of the road, she can't buy no Birkin bag. She cannot buy no whip. She cannot buy no entry AMG that you see every teenager getting nowadays that's apparently rich. I don't even know how they're rich. None of that. That's why it's such a big deal that I think it's the psychology behind it, that the fact that he's willing to spend on her makes her like him more. And it's not because of what's being given. Otherwise, she would have mentioned something expensive. And that's why when she's saying like, I date for money, I think it just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense whatsoever. And I think she's just saying that. But when we look at her actions It's like she's not saying that he bought her a crib or something, and I do believe that he's spending, but this is also like, yo, can Rich the Kid afford to spend like that? Let's be real here. No, I'm not saying that Rich the Kid is struggling, but if he's paying for his baby mama and he's tricking on multiple other chicks, that money goes quick. Really, really quick. The fact that Summer Walker is out here, she's just saying what's said in quiet behind closed doors, maybe never even said, just thought, and she's just saying it aloud, and it's incredible. She's saying like, yo, what's the problem? You know he's cheating on you with everybody else, and she spent. That chick is not leaving, and he's not leaving her, because if you guys recall, Rich the Kid had been robbed and beaten. Like, I think there was even B&Es, breaking and enterings, in his crib, and everybody was like, yo, somehow this always happens with that chick, Tory Brixx. So a lot of people were throwing it on her that she was getting like him set up for this to happen to him. Like, he got attacked like pretty badly. I think it was one time, I don't know if it was twice, but he had been like stolen from more than once. And that situation is a little bit crazy, but yeah, he's really into her. But the part about it too, where Summer Walker is like trying to be the side, is when she's trying to say like, oh, you know, I don't really like him, he just pays for stuff. Stop it. Summer Walker really likes Rich the Kid. Now, maybe she doesn't want to be, I don't even know if she wants to be wifed up by anybody, to be honest. Like, we don't know this archetype right here. Like I said, if a lady has face tat, and I mean, even if a dude has face tats, like we've seen the face tat epidemic that happened in the 2017, 2018. But I mean, if she's got a face tat, that just lets you know they're a little thrown off a bit. Like, you've got to be a little thrown off, especially when there's a lot of room on the rest of your body and you were just like, nah, throw that right on my face. So as we can see, Summer Walker is a little bit out there. So maybe she's just doesn't want to get wifed up by anybody, which there are people like that, as hard as it is for some to imagine. But she's not going to spend time with somebody that she doesn't like because he spends money on, like she said, a vacation for her and her friends. Like, let's be real here. If you do not like somebody and you have the money to do it yourself, you are not going to spend time with that individual. She likes Rich the Kid. Like, let's not cap. Like, I don't like him, he just spends money. No, you're capping. You like Rich the Kid, and that's fine. You can like Rich the Kid. And like I said, I think that she likes the fact that Rich the Kid spends on her, and it's not what's being spent. It's, oh, this guy cares about me. So I think she believes that Rich the Kid cares about her because he's spending on her. And they've got this relationship, and who knows what other, side activities they are getting up to. So Summer Walker is not going to steer us astray. Like, we know that she likes Rich the Kid. That much is clear. I mean, where you spend your time when you're as rich as Summer Walker is and as successful as she is with who you like. And sounds like she's spending a bunch of time with Rich the Kid. And she can also spend time with somebody that's not passing it around. Like she said, yo, he's with everybody. So if Rich the Kid is with everybody, which does pose a danger to Summer Walker, like health-wise, but we don't know, we don't know what she's got. And this is something that is across the board. Like, nobody wants a health issue. That means that she must really like Rich the Kid, because him paying for things that you can afford 100 times over and him bringing a health risk alongside it, that means the only thing that's going to overcome that is how much you like the guy. That's all I can think of. And I'm being illogical here. Are you guys following my logic here? It should be sound, right? And also the part where she talks about like, oh, he's just spending, sometimes I just think about it. I'm like, I want this. Now, it could also be that, because right now she's saying she's asking for stuff. That's a different scenario. So maybe she also likes the power that she has over a Rich the Kid. That could be a possibility too, but it doesn't add up, because in that scenario, she would not hang out with him on a vacation or be calling him and saying that she wants to hang out independent of asking for anything, because in that audio that we heard that was leaked, she wasn't asking for him to buy her something. She reached out to him and she wanted to spend time with him. So even though like some people could make the argument of like, nah, she was just trying to get him to pay for stuff. Well, there's the health risk that's involved, like I said earlier, where she said he was passing it around to everybody. And we know that he was passing it around raw because she was saying he was having multiple kids here in like left, right, and center. Tory Brixx then responds and says the following. This woman has literally been harassing me for like 2 years, asking to hang and link up. She even went as far as trying to insinuate that she was around my child when she wasn't. Summer was around Rich one day and he accidentally left my son's backpack. As a mother who don't post the face of her children and get upset at your BD for posting them to protect them, why would you play with mine? Why is she coming at me though? LMAO. Now when I dig in yo ish, don't play victim. We are engaged, and you know they've been engaged for 8 years. They've been engaged. Rich the Kid's career has blown up, fell off, blown up again, and teetered out to whatever level it's at right now, and they've still been engaged. It was my choice to not get married because Rich and I had a few hiccups, and I knew we had a few things we needed to work on as a family. I'm not in a rush to get married and then have to get a divorce, but what I do with my man in my household is none of your business. Pizza Hut. And this is one thing that also tripped me out about Summer Walker is she was saying like, oh, I don't deal with married men, but there's no ring there. And I always say that like having a child with someone is more serious than marrying someone. Like, let's be real here. When you marry somebody and there is no child that comes after, let's say they've been married for 15 years, they split and it is what it is. If they've never been married and they've got a 10-year-old kid together, they're seeing each other constantly because of that kid. The divorced couple, they probably forgot about each other. Well, not forgot, but after they separated, that was that. They're probably not going and seeing each other after the divorce proceedings and, whoever gets the assets and all that. So the whole like, I'm not dealing with it. But there is a person like being single. So maybe she's saying, oh, no, but this is the thing. He's with Tory Brixx officially engaged. So he's still dealing with her. It's not like, oh, no, that's my baby mama. We don't deal like that anymore. We are not in a relationship. So it's a little bit of a gray. No, it's not a gray area there. It's obvious what's there. So this is just like some cope that she just has. And then Lil Meech even posts, laughing at her, where he posts a photo of him and her saying, karma a B, huh? And this is context because there was an interview that Summer Walker was doing because she was dating Lil Meech, and he got caught with a chick that he said he was his cousin that he was helping with groceries. And I'm going to play you guys that clip right now. We're going to have to cover it up and just play the audio. It's like a complex clip that she had with Speedy Mormon.
I want to talk about an unfortunate situation for you that led to an incredible line and meme for us as fans and viewers, and that was, I can't help my cousin bring the bags in the house.
Yes.
What do you remember about that? Incredible line. What do you remember about a moment like that? Was it infuriating for you?
It was. I was really ignorant, but hey.
Did you laugh at it, or were you like in too deep?
No, I was like, that's trifling. I literally don't even have to say anything on that because his life is terrible now. So, yeah.
So all of this is going on, and the crazy part about this is like Selena Powell's now with that Lil Meech dude. I don't know if they're still together. This is just a mess. But Summer Walker here is the biggest star, and I need the ladies that watch to come to the front. Now, I think in a couple of videos ago I was saying like no white chicks watch this. There's probably a couple, let's be fair, but there aren't many. But for the chicks, which there are others, and if you're a Summer Walker fan, let me know how much of an appeal does the drama and things like this about Summer Walker make you like her more? Now, keep in mind, when I'm saying it makes you like her, it doesn't mean that you're behaving like her or that you co-sign what she's doing. You're just like, this is really entertaining, and she's making some great music, and her music and lyrics is coming from this lifestyle that she makes, and maybe I can relate to some of it, like maybe like some relationship or some heartbreak, but not the whole like, being in this, like, this isn't even a love triangle. This is like a love octagon with how many people are involved in this. So let me know if this helps if it makes you like her more, or if you're just like kind of like, this makes me like turn away from her. Like, what's an example of something that would make me turn away? Like for example, Ye saying that he's a cuck. That's like, that's, I had to cut Ye off for that. It's just, that. However, if Ye is, what else could Ye be doing? Like, if Ye is doing a crazed Henny rant or taking the mic from Taylor Swift, that makes me like him more. Not because of the action, because I think he did Taylor Swift dirty. Now, Taylor Swift has matured since then, and matured in more evil ways, you could say. But back then, I was like, come on, man. Like, why'd you have to do that to her? But that whole storyline and creating an album out of that and the recovery of that and how you were perceived makes me like the artist more. You get what I'm saying? So let me know in the comments what's the appeal that Summer Walker has for you if you are a fan of hers, and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm going to see you on the next one.